Welcome back, my friends. I've got something I want to share with you today that I really haven't put a whole lot of thought into. This is just something that's been on my mind. I came across some information and I felt compelled to share it. I've been pretty fortunate in my life that when I come across information that I feel makes sense to me and I apply it, I tend to come across further information that kind of reassures me that I'm on the right path. And I had that very thing just happen to me, so I felt like, yep, got to share this. So, where do I start? I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years. If you've been following me for any length of time, you probably have already heard me say that a couple of times. Certified personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach, nutrition coach, several different certifications over those years from way back, many of which I've kept current. And the more recent has been for 10 years now, so not all that recent. I am a New York State licensed massage therapist as well, and that's where the bulk of my time is. But I am just a lifelong student, and with that, as I learn something, I consider myself a lifelong teacher. So I want to learn and I want to share and teach. I don't add this to my credential list yet anyway, but one of the other more recent ones is I came across a program called PRI, the Postural Restoration Institute. And I'll do my best to tag some people in this as well, but I first came across that from a gentleman named Neil. Neil, I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, I believe it's Hallinan. Has a wonderful YouTube channel, brilliant man. We actually have some similar storylines, similar paths, personal trainer. I believe Neil is also a massage therapist and then got into PRI, much of which was based on his own needs, as was mine. And then after Neil, I was introduced to some of Connor Harris's work, another brilliant individual. I highly recommend you guys follow both of them if you're not already. And since digging into some of the PRI work and some of their videos, implementing a lot of their stuff, I also now have been introduced to a gentleman named Robert Schleip's work. Again, apologies if I'm saying that wrong. Robert has been studying fascia, and he's at the forefront of the understanding of fascia. He's been studying, I think, since like 2007 or so. Another brilliant individual. I'm really fortunate to come across the work of such brilliant people and share it with you guys. So that brings me to why am I talking about all this right now? PRI, I'll say, enlightened me on this imbalance, this very common imbalance that many of us have. They dig far deeper into it. There's other imbalances that are rather common as well, but this one stuck with me because I can relate, because I feel it. What we tend to see is we load and support most of our weight in our right leg. And as we do that, our hips shift over to our left and rotate to our right. And this is absolutely what I have experienced myself. Now, as we move up the kinetic chain with that, what that leads to is this tension on the right side, this rotation of the torso to the left, and then the rotation of the head back to the right. And that is all true to what I've experienced in many of my clients over the years as well. So we're working towards different things to work on repatterning that neuromuscular pathway. That's a large part of what drives this, is that the nervous system is sending this signal to these muscles, and it keeps us in that position. So I've incorporated quite a few techniques that I've picked up from Neil and Connor. Again, highly recommend you follow their stuff. If what I just described explains what you're feeling as well, I'll do my fair share to continue to create some content to point you in the right direction as well, but they've already got some pretty remarkable stuff out there for it. But this morning, something hit me that just felt right. I happen to have one of those mini trampolines at home, little urban rebounder. They're pretty cool. There's a lot you can do with them, pretty versatile. I don't think they're quite the thing that they may have been touted to be when they were really the craze, but we happened to get our hands on one. And this morning, what I decided to do, as I was kind of waking up, it was about 5 o'clock this morning, I set myself up on the rebounder with my feet planted in an opposite staggered position. So right foot forward, left foot back. I actively rotated my pelvis so that the right was coming forward and rotating over to the left. Got my torso to go to the opposite, so left side turning to the right, and I positioned my phone. I was watching a podcast, positioned my phone a little bit so that I had to turn my head back over to the left. And without my feet leaving that urban rebounder, I just gently bounced in that position for about a half hour. And it felt incredible. I just got some blood flowing, got some lymph flowing. I was doing it with the intention of, let's just give the body that stimulus. As I often say, what I do in my practice is I give the body the stimulus to repair itself. I don't claim to be some healer. I'm not the one fixing you. I'm just giving your body the stimulus it needs to repair itself, assuming you give it the right building blocks, the right rest periods, and so on. So with all that in mind, and thinking about it now with more of this fascia understanding, thanks to Robert's work, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's just give it that stimulus, let things kind of move, give the body the stimulus it needs. And I was just listening to another podcast that had Robert in it, and he was talking about the potential benefits, or actually the proven, I guess at this point, benefits of a little bit of a bounce to some positions. So maybe adding to your yoga practice a very, very controlled, slight little bounce to it. And that being said, I'll backtrack a little bit here. One of the most important things that I have my clients work on, and I think as I'm talking about getting into yoga positions and possibly bouncing, it's vital that I stress this right here. What we need to focus on is moving our body through the fullest pain-free range of motion. Once we've established that and we're starting to get the body moving a little freer, a little better, a little looser, that is the time, in my opinion, that we would start to incorporate some degree of a slight little subtle bounce just to give the fascia that stimulus. It's going to work on some of the collagen and elastin relationship within the fascia. I won't get too into that just yet because, as I said, I've understood fascia to some degree for quite a while now, but I'm just a student of it. I'm not going to claim to be the expert. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I did that today. I felt incredible from doing it. And then I came across this information from Robert that just gave me this sense of approval, that it wasn't just a singular anecdotal scenario that I went with my gut and it worked for me. There seems to be something more to it. So rather than continue to just ramble on, I guess I'll wrap it up here. I'll let you know, if you're local to the Hudson Valley, I work out of Fishkill, New York, Gold's Gym here in Fishkill. I'd be happy to help you out if you have any needs in that I can help you with my massage practice and teach you some of these skills. If you're not local, maybe follow along. And certainly, as I said, follow Neil, follow Connor, check out some of Robert's work, follow him, and I will do my best to keep bringing you some more information as I find it. So that being said, have a blessed day and take care of yourself. Be well.